بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Today we're going to cover inshallah summarize the lessons and reflect on juz' number 15. Juz' number 15, mashallah, we already fasted 15 days of Ramadan. Juz' 15 also consists of two surahs, Surah Al-Isra and Surah Al-Kahf. That's a span one juz'. And in each surah, we have many lessons to reflect on, and also shows us the style of Makki Qur'an. All just dealing with the Aqidah, dealing with the creeds, dealing with Iman, the faith, and dealing with Sabr, dealing with the believing in the hereafter, there's life after death, and also believing in the unity of God, and also the message of the Islam, and also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defending his messenger and his message as well. So in the lesson of Surah Al-Isra, when you go to Surah Al-Isra, it is really from the night trip the Prophet ﷺ had took from Mecca to Al-Quds, Jerusalem, and from Jerusalem he ascended to heaven for the Mi'raj in one night. He went from Mecca to Al-Quds and he prayed with the Malaika at Masjid Al-Aqsa there, and after that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him to heaven. So in one night I came back to his place in Mecca. And just all usually just one or two ayah out of 120 ayah of Surah Isra talking about the Isra and Mi'raj, and the other part of it talking about Ben Israel, talking about the revelation, talking about the commandment in Islam, all that stuff. But subhanallah, pertaining the story of the Isra al-Mi'raj, all of it. Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi laylan min al-masjid al-harami ila al-masjid al-aqsa alladhi barakna hawla. That's the ayah there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed he who took his servant in a night trip from Mecca all the way to Quds and to heaven. And inshallah we'll go over many lessons and regarding this Isra and al-Mi'raj. But the fact, takes more time, inshallah, to summarize all the lessons from the Isra, the story of the Isra and the Mi'raj. Inshallah, just we take some also lesson from that. One of the lessons that men of Allah instruct the lesson for us that each soul has personal responsibility. In Islam, each soul has personal responsibility. Allah's gifts are for all, but not the same for all. Allah gives for all, but it's not the same for all. And also, service of Allah is a duty to man. Life and trust are sacred. Pray not to evil and try to avoid the shaitan. Creation declares Allah's glory. His revelation of the Quran and the message and sending his prophets are true. Guard your words and avoid dissension. Always, we just recommend this, all of us, inside Ramadan and outside Ramadan, to guard our tongues, guard our thoughts. And also, one great lesson from the Surah Al-Isra is the root of evils. And also, the man's preeminence gives him higher responsibility. Truth will last, and falsehood perish. So that's, and also the one of the great lesson in Surah Al-Isra, spirit of inspiration, highest gift of Allah. Quran teaches truth. Praise the beautiful names of Allah as conclude the Surah Al-Isra. So if we look inshallah into some of the verses of the surah, the greatness of the surah, as I said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, glory to Allah who did take his servant for a journey by night from the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque, whose presence we did bless in order that we might show him some of our signs. For he is the one who hears and one who sees. That's the attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As-sam' wal basar, he hears. And then after this is the, as I told, this is the just a surah started Surah Al-Isra. That's what we call it by the name Al-Isra. Sometimes other name for Surah Al-Isra is Bani Israel. We're talking about the Bani Israel, the next few ayats after that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, gave this gift to the Prophet ﷺ to support his message. After year 10, you remember just the Prophet ﷺ went through a lot of, call it the year of sorrow and a lot of difficulty. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he want to show him what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for him. Not all in this, only dunya, and look, even the people at, in Makkah and around Makkah didn't receive him really well. Come, I'm going to show you how heaven receives you, O Prophet of Allah. So this is a great lesson for us and great gift for our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as he just mentioned in the seerah, how the trip it happened during night hours. So he went from Masjid al-Haram, from Mecca all the way to Quds, and the Jibreel alayhi salam, he was traveling with him, and the mount and the ride is called Al-Buraq. He brought the name Al-Buraq. So Prophet ﷺ has ridden the Al-Buraq from Mecca to Al-Quds, and he tied his Buraq there, and then he ascended to heaven with Jibreel alayhi salam. Now, the Prophet ﷺ showed us only all the prophets. They were met with him, at the father's mosque on Masjid al-Aqsa, and then he just made imam in them, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him. So when he went to heaven, the Prophet ﷺ has seen many signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also he met with all the prophets. He met with Adam, he met Musa alayhi salam, with Harun, with Isa, with Yahya, with Idris, subhanAllah, and he met with Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. He was in the seventh heaven, and his back was to the Sidratul Muntaha, to the Jannah, and finally, when he went to Sidratul Muntaha, Jibreel alayhi salam, he said, that's where as much as I can go. And the Prophet ﷺ went and, talked to Almighty God, And during that one, the Prophet ﷺ also, he told us he saw the Jannah and he saw the fruit of the Jannah. He described everything for us. Sometimes he said, you see something, nothing you can, it looks like resemblance in this word here, but compared to the fruit of Jannah, there's no comparison. The name may be the same, the shape may be the same, but the taste and it's not the same. And also, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after he finished, just talk, he ordained to us that 50 salawat. So when after he received the gift from God, this is the only ibadah. The only ibadah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just given it directly to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The other ibadat, siyam, zakah, hajj, jihad, everything came through the wahy. except the salah. Salah directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a gift to this ummah. There were 50 prayers a day. 50 prayers. Someone here sent down, going down to who met Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made praise Sayyidina Musa for what he did. So Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he asked him what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained to you. He said 50 prayers a day. So Sayyidina Musa told the Prophet, I was tested with Bani Israel. Bani Israel, they are toughest and meanest people, more than people. Your people, they cannot handle it. They cannot do 50 prayers a day. Go back and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy, to listen and reduce the number of prayers. So he went, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he reduced it to 45. So he came back to the same place when Musa told him again, go back again, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reduce it again. So he went back and forth between Musa and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala till finally came to 5 prayers a day. Remember, for the Jews, once a week, for the Christians, Sunday, once a week, for Jews, Saturday, and it's too much for them. Too much for them. So even Musa, after reduced to 5, five prayers, he said, go back and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, Sayyidina Muhammad Sayyidina Musa, no, I feel really very shy. I cannot, alhamdulillah, that's good enough for me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finally said, okay, oh Muhammad, you have given 5 daily salawat, equivalent to 50 salawat. So when we say we missed one salah, you didn't miss one salah. You missed 10 salawat. And each salah has, a reward of 10 times. Look how much you missed. So really, you didn't miss. So this is why that scholar, when they said, you cannot make up, miss salah with no reason, that's something. So, and also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't make any excuse for the Muslims not to come up with the daily salawat. If you are traveling, if you are sick, if you are at home, if you are fighting, no matter what, you're doing standing, you're doing sitting in your side, do it in your eyes, you have to come up with it. You have to come up with it. So that is, alhamdulillah, the beauty of the salah. And the salah, subhanallah, is special ibadah. Special ibadah is a direct connection between us and God. So when we stand up in our salawat, who's in front of us, we report directed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he's waiting for us there. As long as you want to talk to him, you can't talk to him. He will not let you go till yourself say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. A beautiful, alhamdulillah, ibadah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with. And then, inshallah, we didn't go for the details of Islam Maraj. It takes longer time than that. But however, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us, the story of next story, Bani Israel, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about them and what they have done. Allah gave them power in the first time, and then they misused it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent, more tyrants, people against them to overtake them. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave opportunity again to Bani Israel to rise again and make them more mighty and more power, and took the Quds again. And then finally it's taken out from them, and look what they are right now. They are back, in power over the Quds. May Allah give us tawfiq, may Allah give us understanding. And then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given us, that is the ultimate goal for you and I, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. That's after the ultimate truth. And how to be dutiful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to give the due right to Allah and due right to our parents, and make dua for them and treat them nicely when they are old. And remember this dua, رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِ صَغِيرًا. You say, oh Allah, forgive them, Allah give them rah, as they were merciful to me when I was a child. Look how beautiful, subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you go in phase of life, you start child and you go back always weak as a child. So when you attain the elder age, your children are about to take care of you. And also be dutiful to your kin and keith, your relatives. Give them their due right. And after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us about the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not kill, do not steal, do not commit fornication, take care of the orphan rights, don't be arrogant, do not cheat in the weight. All your eyes, your sight, your hearts, everything, you're responsible for that. Do not be arrogant when you walk. Be kind when you deal. Be kind when you do your business. Do everything in just. Oh, this one is commandment of the hikmah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you as Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam into your ummah. And also after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us, how to be good, And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also telling us the story of Quraysh when they belied the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and when disbelieved in the Quran, and when they disbelieved in the hereafter, and we said, hey, when we come rotten bones and dust, are we gonna be called back to life again? That's not happen. Could not happen, will not happen. So that's the disbelief in the day of judgment or the hereafter. And also, subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, وَجَعَلْنَا عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ أَكِنَّةً أَن يَفْقَهُوا, and we put covering over their hearts and minds. They shouldn't understand the Quran. Those, subhanallah, when you used to hear the Quran, they said, we are deaf, we cannot hear. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, made his promise true to give victory to the believers, and he did. And also at the part of this surah also is told about the Sayyidina Adam and his wife in the Jannah, and when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the malaika to prostrate for them out of respect, out of greeting, and Shaitan was there. When he refused, Shaitan refused to bow down to prostrate to Adam, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kicked him out of the Jannah and deprived him from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And since then, the enmity started between the Shaitan and Sayyidina Adam and his wife, and we're still dealing with the with that disobedience of Adam to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's now why we are here. But inshallah, if we take care of ourselves, we be good in this dunya, we'll go back to our place in the Jannah. Allahumma ameen. And also the life of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam with Fir'aun, and what all the miracles Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supported Musa with to show Fir'aun, still didn't obey till Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just drowned him and his army, and let Bani Israel cross into the promised land. And and also this this surah as that's also showed us also the surah that the virtue of al-Fajr, Quran al-Fajr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, after he bestowed his honors unto the son of Adams, provided them with the transport on land and on sea, given them everything, all the sustenance, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us here, أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل وقرآن الفجر إن قرآن الفجر كان مشهودا. That's the establishment. Establish your regular prayer at the sun's when in the morning and in the darkness of the night, and recite the Quran in the morning prayer. For the recital of Fajr, it is witnessed, as I said, witnessed by the Malaika, the shift. The two shift of Malaika, they attend the Fajr prayer and the day and night shift, and also the Asr prayer, both the day shift and the night shift attended both prayers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ, and as for night, keep awake a part of it as additional prayer for you, Prophet of Allah. And soon will your Lord raise you to a station of praise and glory, al-maqam al-mahmud. Muhammad said, the Prophet ﷺ, he is pray for me to get the al-maqam al-mahmud. So inshallah, the shafa'ah, the intercession of Allah, of the Prophet ﷺ will inshallah be will cover us. And then, as I mentioned, this surah concluded, قل ادعوا الله أو ادعوا الرحمن أيما تدعوا فله الأسماء الحسنى ولا تجهر بصلاتك ولا تخافت بها وابتغي بين ذلك سبيلا وقل الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. Say, call upon Allah, call upon Rahman, they are the same. But whatever name you call upon him, it is the same. For to him belongs the most beautiful names, Asma'ullah al-Husna, that 99 names of Allah. So this is concluded, Surah Al-Isra. Now Surah, Kahf, there's many lessons of Surah Al-Kahf. Surah Al-Kahf started with Alhamdulillah, praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Praising Allah for what? الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له. Praise be to Allah who has sent to his servant the book, the Qur'an, and has allowed therein no crookedness. Straight, clear, everything bayyan, qayyiman, straight and clear, in order that he may warn the godless people, the people of the shirk, and give a glad tidings to the believers that they have who work righteousness deed, that they shall have a goodly reward and they will stay in it forever. And then in Surah Al-Kahf, as you remember, it has 4 major stories and 4 tests, 4 trials that span all our life. This is why it's recommended that to read Surah Al-Kahf each Friday. If you read the part of Surah Al-Kahf or you read Surah Al-Kahf on Friday, you will be inshallah safe from the trial of the false Messiah. And the first trial is the story of the youth. They were tried by their faith. They were youth, they were young, and they were migrated from the evil place into a safety place. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided them into the cave somewhere in the mountain, one of the mountains. Allah protected them because they were believers and they were immigrated to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they were youth. And most of the scholars, they said their number, they were 7. And as far as I know, they found lately, they found at that place, because they said in north of Lebanon, North Syria, but they found a place for them in Jordan. And they found their 7 graves for them, and they found the masjid where they used to live. And exact description in the Quran fits that cave, the one was discovered in Jordan. So, and even now you can go, if you go to Jordan, and you will ask, they will take you a trip, take you exactly to where that location of the mount of the cave, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about the story of the youth. That's subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us this story to reflect on. When you are with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah protect you. And also the great lesson for us, even when you accompany righteous people, whatever happened to the righteous people will happen to you. This is what happened even to their dog. Their dog will be protected and slept like with them for 309 years. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them about their story, they stayed in their sleep for 309 years in lunar system. They found out later on there is 10 days between the lunar system and the Gregorian calendar. Subhanallah, 10 days, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us there. And one of the greatest lessons for us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, all this life, al-mal wal-banun zina. This is ointment, this life. And what's best for you, take with you al-baqiyat al-salihat. And what's everlasting thing? Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. That's a yourself always make your tongue always sweat by mentioning and remembering the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also. Now the second story is the test of the wealth. The two companions, when one of them, Allah gave him all the wealth there is, and some scholar, they said his brother, his friend, whatever, he was poor, nothing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described his wealth, described his garden, described his produce. He was so boastful about himself, and he when he was walking, between his gardens, he said, "This life will not be vanished. Life will not be gone away." And his friend, his poor friend, he started, wanting to reflect. He told him, "Didn't you remember who created you from nothing, from dust, and then make you a man, make you strong, make you what do you have here? Remember your creator." He want to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to remember his creation, what's the bounty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given to him, but arrogantly didn't believe that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent destruction, destroyed all his gardens, all his crops, and nothing left. And when he saw what did happen, now he realized what has passed too late. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the third test, the test of knowledge. The test of knowledge is the story between Sayyidina Musa and Al-Khadr radiyallahu anhu. When Musa alayhi salam, he claimed that he's the most learned person among Bani Israel, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say relate to the knowledge it's given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah wants to teach. Let's say, okay, Musa, I have a slave so and so, you will find him so and so, you go there, he has more knowledge than you do. And then Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he decided to go see the knowledge, and many lessons for that. He prepared for his trip, and he took his servant with him to go and find that place. Even if you're going to take him years to go, it's the knowledge. When you go right now, for your college or master after that, or PhD after, it's taking years and years. Sometimes it takes you trouble to go to other place, to other state, to other country, to attain the degree you're looking for. So that's what it takes determination. So Sayyidina Musa, he was determined to go there, and finally he met that, and we learned many lessons. Only Musa alayhi salam could handle all the three things. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, "I wish Musa alayhi salam he was more patient, otherwise you could learn more and more." When he just damaged the boat, when he found youth, a child, he killed him, and then he found a broken wall, and he just mended him. And the reason behind that is explained to us. And that's, subhanAllah, sometimes you see the knowledge of this dunya, even if you are a prophet, if you are here, it's different from the knowledge of hereafter. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Al-Khadr alayhi salam the knowledge of the unseen. You know something in the future would happen. It's not known to Sayyidina Musa. Again, it's the nature of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. That's why he objected to everything Al-Khadr he did. But Al-Khadr didn't do that because of it. That's why came to him. Do this, do that. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what the outcome of the ghayb. And the last story of the story of the power, the test of the power, Dhul Qarnayn, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed in the power, but he used it in the right place. He used the power in the right place for da'wah, to establish the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala justly. And also told us the story of Gog and Magog, Juj and Majuj, and when he built the dam to just, to protect the other people from their evil. And as you know, Juj and Magog, they will come at the end of, the time, the hour, and who knows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when that will be happen. And the surah started, finished with إن الذين beautiful conclusion. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا. That's the ultimate. The one who deserve the work for goodness, they deserve something good as well. That's what they have there. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had just told us about their abode in the hereafter. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also told us, قُلْ لَوْ كَانَ الْبَحْرُ, say, if this ocean were ink, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never be finished. The word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of the Lord, even if you add another ocean into it as ink, will never be finished. Who is this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This is the Almighty Allah. And the last ayah, قُلْ إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ, that's going to tell Quraysh, tell the people, hey, I am but a man like yourself. The inspiration has come to me that you, God, is one God. Whoever expects to meet his Lord, let him work righteousness. And in the worship of his Lord, admit no one as a partner. No partner with Allah, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is conclude Surah Al-Kahf. MashaAllah. It's great surah, inshallah, to understand. Please, if you have some time, read it with understanding. Read it with understanding, and inshallah, you will, mashallah, all the Quran is beautiful. All the Quran full of wisdom, full of lesson for us too. And it's our way of life. This is the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah inshallah give us the tawfiq to understand the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to understand inshallah to recite and to make the Quran part of our life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the goodness and also make us among the dwellers of the Jannah. Allahumma ameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.